I set out to go 10,000 days in this hardcore Minecraft world, but the game made me realize very quickly just how futile the goal is if I don't take it seriously. Thus, after my first video in this series, my goal was to enable peaceful mode to eliminate all mob spawns in my world before I start building anything serious. And this video will not end until I do just that. My name is Zeku, and welcome to Hardcore Minecraft 100%. Last video I made a villager farm. Today we convert this into one of the most important projects yet, a building that will stop mob spawns forever. And as usual, I will try my best to guide you through the whole process, but there's a lot to go through. So if you enjoyed, don't forget to smash like, and let's get started with the video. I think I definitely first of all want to bring the villager over here. You know what? Actually no, we're not going to do it like that. This is going to be where the villager comes down to. So basically when the villager arrives, I want him here, and from this point onwards we are going to be able to determine what we want to do. Okay, and basically we can put the zombie like right in this corner. It's going to be a bit tricky to bring the zombie in. For this to work, you don't want just any zombie, or husk if you're in the desert. You want a one that is carrying an item. Those ones won't despawn. And don't worry, they are more common than you'd think. If, however, none have appeared, you can also start throwing items on the ground, and if a zombie/husk picks one up, then that zombie/husk will no longer despawn. But if you really can't find one, an alternative way is just to use a name tag on the zombie. To encase the zombie, just use a trapdoor and some walls. Since he's going to be stationary, just leave him in the minecart. I made the mistake of getting him out on my first try, and he escaped, and yeah, easier to just leave him in there. Okay, so I've built everything back. Once the villager is down here, we can flip this switch. Flip that one more time, and he's going to get zombified. Then flip that switch, and then we're going to be able to send him further this way. So for that to happen, obviously we will need another switch. Like so. There is one more thing that we need to do, and for that I need to go over to the swamp. There is a special type of potion that we are going to brew, and that is a weakness potion. For a weakness potion, one of the ingredients is a mushroom, namely a brown mushroom. Now, usually these are rather hard to come by, except if you want to go to the nether, which I don't want to do. However, in the overworld, the best bet that you have is the swamp. Okay, take a look at that. It's actually worth checking the nether roof. I thought nothing is going to generate here, but as you can see, there are quite a few places. So I think we now have enough, like 31 pieces. But if we need any more, we can just come back to the nether and take a flight over here. So what we're going to need are something, and a bunch of them, called fermented spider eye. If you search for recipe, here is what it looks like. This is going to be the base of our potion. Now we're going to need, of course, a few bottles of water, and if we brew them with the fermented spider eye, check out what happens. It's done, and it's something called a potion of weakness. This is going to be the basis for transforming the villagers back. Now let's get rid of that real quick and put in a gunpowder. And it's done, and we have a splash potion of weakness. We can just throw this underground. It's going to have like a splash effect, and it's going to apply the weakness effect to the zombie villagers. After that, we are going to have some golden apples in ourselves. And also, if you don't know how to create golden apples, get a stack of golden ingots, and there you go. So after all that, now we have a shulker box full of stuff we need to cure our zombie villagers, zombified villagers, and we have some stuff to trade with them, and a lectern and a cartography table, some chests, and of course, a few emeralds. Let's go and start the process. Okay, so first things first. Hopefully, by placing the cartography table here, this villager will take interest. And there we go. So this villager can now trade for 24 papers for 1 emerald. So the second step is very important. We need to actually complete the trade. This villager is now logged in as a cartographer. What's going to happen is, once we zombify him, he will still stay as basically as a zombified cartographer. So let's test if that actually works. And that's it. He's now a zombified cartographer. We are going to move him back into this corner, like so. And now here comes the other shulker box. So we're going to need the golden apples, and 1 splash weakness of potion. The splash potion of weakness. We throw the splash potion of weakness, and then we feed him an apple, like that. Now this procedure is going to take a good few minutes, and in the meantime, let's bring in some more villagers. The reason you need to trade with the villager before zombifying him is to 1. Log the trades, and 2. To make him permanent. Zombified villagers that have been traded with will not despawn. At this point I realized I might as well collect a few enchanted books, so... Piercing 1, that is very useful. Actually it's not. But instead of that, we're just going to purchase the emerald for 24 paper. Yeah, we can now send him to the zombification area. The next thing we need to do is make sure he makes it all the way over here. Let's see what happens. So, let's send him. Okay, as you can see, he's made it through the glass. The glass is not hurting him at all. And one more time, we're going to press F3 and B, which is going to show the hitboxes. We'll switch back to our pickaxe, and we will try to remove this without hurting him. Now, unfortunately, what I forgot to do is... and now we need to open the trapdoor first, which is not going to be possible, is it? Okay, here is when the big brain solutions come. Hopefully we're not going to kill this guy. Actually, you know what? We can just probably send him back. Okay, wait, let me try something. So basically we're going to trap him there, and let's try and basically push him out of this. Anyways, now we can open that. Oh, great. Now he has been turned back. Really good. So, as you can see, if we click him, his trades are now down. We have a huge discount because we saved him. So what do we do with that? We zombify him one more time. So next thing on the to-do list, we kind of need to put this guy properly in this box. I wonder what he's going to do if I just break this thing now. I would be glad if he just went by himself. Okay, we might need our shield, which is going to break like very soon. Okay, so that didn't go as planned at all. Okay, so maybe now, please. How did he do that? Oh god, I can't believe it. Ah, finally. Hello. That was unnecessarily hard. Lesson learned. We'll need a good 17-ish more in this particular hole. Hopefully the next one will be a little bit smoother. Great. All we need to do now is flip the switch. And hopefully, with this guy, things are going to go smoother. Let's try and break. Okay, great. It worked. Now, there is one slight problem. That is, we have lost the minecart. But maybe, yes, we can collect it. Great. And now this guy has become a librarian, which means a curse of binding. That's horrible. We can actually just break this. We can place it back for him. And, okay, that's not very good. It's the same thing. Okay, sweeping edge. Right now, we don't really have too many emeralds. So, what I would rather like is for you to just give me something for paper. Silk touch is very useful. You know what? There's an easy way out. Just put the cartography table down and then we can trade for paper. There we go. Okay, so this guy has now been healed again, but his trades are not going down. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to look into this. Oh wow, that was quick. Interesting. This villager would not want to, after 3 or 4 healings, he would still not go lower in prices than 18 pieces of paper, but I just kept on going, and now he's down to 6, which is becoming really, really nice, actually. Let's see if we can lower this even more, just simply by sending him back to the zombie. At this point, I wanted to utilize an infinite emerald glitch, so I started to look for a specific librarian with a specific set of trades. So now we have another villager with the desired trades, so let's give him some paper, and then let's zombify him. After curing, we're going to level him up a bit and see his trades. Look for one that sells paper and also bookshelves in its first 2 rows. Now let's try and level him up by buying a bunch more emeralds. That is unfortunate. This is not what we are looking for. Okay, let's try this again. This one, unfortunately, is just going to get zombified. And as for the original cartographer, take a look at that. After a couple of more healing, everything he sells is now one paper, one emerald, one compass. So I was exploiting him heavily for emeralds, and check this out. From papers, one paper, one emerald. Time to try the infinite emerald trick with another villager. So he has leveled up, and this is what we were looking for. Right now, he's going to sell us a bookshelf for 3 emeralds and also 1 book for 1 emerald. So what happens if we keep zombifying him? And it is done. Now everything costs 1 with this librarian, so we can send him to his final resting place to get a bunch of bookshelves. Let's break all of them. Now we have a bunch of books, which we can trade for emeralds. Just like so. Easy as that. Also, another exploit for you. Since he now gives us 4 glass for 1 emerald, something else we can do is buy 4 of those glasses into glass panes, and then we can exploit further. So, unfortunately now his trades have reverted back to 18, so we might have to zombify him a couple more times. I don't know, we'll see. It's time I explain what the whole purpose of this Operation Zombification is. We are trying to get 71 to 72 zombified villagers within this one chunk. Then we're going to make the game keep this chunk loaded. This will permanently switch off mob spawns altogether in the overworld. But why is that? How does it work? Well, actually it's rather simple. To understand the concept, we have to go back to how mob spawning works. In episode 1, we established that mobs cannot spawn within a 24 block radius of your location. For mobs to spawn, they have to be at least 25 blocks from you, but no further than 128 blocks. Furthermore, the light level has to be 7 or below, or 0 once 1.18 comes out. But Minecraft has something called a mob cap. At any given time, there can only be a maximum of 70 mobs around you. Let's say you're in a cave and popped a couple of zombies. The game now has a chance to fill up the empty slots with new mobs. But what if we could constantly make the game think that we have more than 70 mobs already spawned? The answer is, well, this very project. In the meantime, I started redesigning the zombie delivery system. There was one fatal flaw with the original design. Sometimes the minecart would also fall down with the zombified villagers, and sometimes they would just pick the minecarts up themselves. Now this is very problematic. If you remember from earlier in the video, mobs that have something in their hands will not despawn, but that would also mean that they're no longer part of the mob cap. This means that I could have 100, 200 zombies with something in their hands, and the game would still try and spawn 70 additional mobs on top of those, because mobs who've picked up an item or mobs with a name tag do not count towards the mob cap. This is why we need zombified villagers. Zombified villagers who have been traded with are one of the only 3 mobs that will not despawn no matter what and still count towards the mob cap, but only if they have not picked up anything. If they spawn with a sword or something in their hands, that is fine, but you cannot allow them to pick up any items. Moment of truth, everyone. Let's do this. I'm not afraid. Let's see what happens. He goes down and okay, in he goes. Look at that. That is beautiful. Then we can just use the fishing rod. Okay, that's a problem. So we can just use the fishing rod and pull it towards ourselves, and it's ready for duty one more time. Okay. Problem solved. It was now time to repeat the whole process 65-ish times. Yeah, fun grind. However, as usual, thanks to the magic of video editing, day 3 for me in real life, but we have almost filled up all these compartments with the zombie villagers. I have about like 10 that are still missing. Oh, and I want to show you something real quick. Take a look at these guys. These guys are giving me all these sweet deals for 1 emerald. I mean, 1 book for 1 emerald, 1 paper for 1 emerald. So naturally, I've stacked up on a few emeralds. Also, like, at least 20 stacks are missing. So I have been busy collecting all sorts of enchantments. Also, one thing I figured out with these guys, like sometimes if I buy everything, then by the next day the price is going to go up to like, I don't know, 3 or 4. Sometimes this guy goes up to 4 books. And sometimes they go up to like, I don't know, 12 papers. In that case, don't panic. You don't need to re-zombify them. Just wait. Just wait another day or so. This is why we have several deals. We have this deal. We have this deal. Then we can buy bookshelves to turn into books. Or we can buy glass if we want to, because this guy buys that at a discount also. So you can just rotate these. Or alternatively, you could get this villager. So the one that that has paper and books in the second tier. You could get like 5 or 10 more. That's basically 3 emeralds. As I said, we still need like 10 more villages, and we have 2. In the meanwhile, I'm going to build something that's going to allow us to keep this whole area loaded. This is where we need to build something called a chunk loader. Here's everything we're going to need for the chunk loader, and then afterwards I will try and do something really cool, and this is what these things are for. So this is the chunk we want to keep loaded, and this is where we're going to build the chunk loader. So this is where we're going to build our portal. We need to build the portal 1, 2, and on this height. And let's start building it. For the next step, we will be using all these guys. So droppers are right on this spot. We need to build up. So 1, crouch, 2, and 3. And the 4th one, you face it like this. Also, make sure you're using droppers and not dispensers. Whenever we place an item right in here, it's going to drop it all the way up, and that one is going to spit it through the portal. Currently, it's not active. So how can we make it active? First of all, let's put in a redstone comparator. Also, let's get rid of this item. Let's place down a block. Redstone. This is now giving signal on this level. However, we need to actually make sure that we can see the signal, because following Minecraft logic, as you can see the silhouette, it's like a 1 pixel high block. So we have to see that this thing got a signal with another observer, and then that has to give the signal to this one. So let's test this out with just 1 block. It went through all 4 of them, you could hear, and it's now landed on the other side. So basically we need to build a loop back system. So let's put 2 building blocks here. Let's put a hopper, so it's going to go back into that dropper from this side. Let's put a hopper pointing into the other hopper. We need to add one minecart with a hopper and another minecart with a hopper. So if I drop this diamond shovel here, the minecarts will be able to collect it, like so, and the circuitry spits it back to me. This is exactly what we need to build now on the other side. As I kept building the loop on the other side, my nearby portal of the village started to interfere with the chunk loader portal. And basically 2 different portals in the overworld started mixing with 2 different portals in the nether. There was only one solution I could come up with. 1 eternity later, I could finally solve the problem. The only solution I could find is moving that portal from literally here to over there. Now, this doesn't seem that big of a difference in the nether. However, if we go into the overworld, check this out. So this is where our new portal is now situated at. There is our new portal. We should be done with this contraption. Let's test it out. And okay, it works. So the reason this is going to keep our chunks loaded in the overworld is because of this one item. This one flint and steel is being moved to and from the nether and the overworld. Let's finish these guys up and then check how it performs. Alright, so we have definitely got more than enough mobs now. The project is finished. Sun is almost down. We should be able to see mob spawns on these chunks, but guess what? They are not going to happen anymore because we have just turned on peaceful mode. If I could find like a ravine or something, like a cave system, we could go in and test it there as well. Okay, here is a cave. Definitely. Okay, that almost ended really poorly. Never jump into any ravine slash holes slash anything unless you are absolutely sure of what is happening down over there. Oh, wow. After cheating death for one last time, we have now successfully reached our first major goal, enabling peaceful mode by eliminating mob spawns in hardcore Minecraft. This took me more than 100 Minecraft days to finish. To commemorate the event, I built a lighthouse, a shining tower always illuminated when peaceful mode is turned on and mobs are forced to hide. Not gonna lie, this project was crazy. I'm proper chuffed that I was able to pull it off. If you enjoyed, please don't forget that like. But trust me when I say, this is only the beginning. From the next episode onwards, we will start building mega farms, working towards our next big milestone, enabling creative mode. If you don't want to miss that, don't forget to subscribe. What a long 2 episodes. If you've made it this far, you're a legend. This was ZekuVsUNIVERSE's Hardcore Minecraft 100%, and I'll see you in the next one.